Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Heiler. I'm the creative director for PhotoBiz, and today we're going to discuss what makes a great website. And basically we're going to walk through some challenges that you might face if you're a new person that's not familiar with websites, or maybe you're a seasoned person that's built one websites. I've been building websites since I was 10 years old. I'm 34 now. So I've been doing it for most of my life. I started building with HTML code and stuff like that back in the GeoCities era of web design of like 1994 and 95. So I've been very well experienced in building websites my whole life. So we're going to talk about some of the challenges I've seen people face when they come up with building a website. Sometimes it's design related, sometimes it's content related, sometimes it's SEO related. So we're going to talk about some of those things today. So we're just going to give people a few more minutes. It's 2:01 now, so let's wait till about 2:02 and then we'll get started. Again, that's my name, that's my face. Hello. And I love to build websites, and I love helping businesses. That's one of my key things I love doing more than anything is helping out customers. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So everything we're building today or talking about building, we've done through our PhotoBiz platform. So everything you see in the images that'll be displayed through the slides, everything was built with our system. So you can see this drag and drop block that was all built with our system. Some things about our platform, it's really easy to use. Everything is built in one, so you don't have to go get email marketing from another third party. You can have email marketing. We give you 2,000 free emails per month to send to your contacts. We have an online store functionality, which is commission free, so we don't take any money from you. We have a form builder, so you can submit forms, you can create digital contracts, you can make your mini session forms if you need to as well, so you can get people to purchase right through the forms itself. We have a blog builder, we have proofing, so if you need to have proofing galleries and you can set it up to sell through there, you can do that. And we also have recently just released bulk downloads for that, so people can bulk download specific packages that they built, or you can give them the whole gallery depending on what your business model is like. So we have very powerful tools built all in. It's low cost. Right now it's $29 a month or $300 a year. And the biggest thing that we have for you is we actually have live support that you can call. Unlike other platforms, you actually have to go and find that support. So that's one thing. We value our customers so much. We want to be that pipeline to assist you at any time. And we have pro services if you need them. So you can actually call on us to build stuff for you if you ever need it, or anything like that. So it's really valuable to have a PhotoBiz membership. Okay, so let's talk about websites. Websites are relatively easy. I know some people get, it's not, especially if they don't understand technologies, it can be a little cumbersome for them. So here's the 5 things that you need to do. Is start out by picking a template. There's no reason for you to build from scratch, build from code anymore. There's no need for that. Plan out your pages. There's specific pages that you can start with, and you can build on top of it. You don't have to have everything ready when you roll out the door. Having these few pages are key to make your website function, and we'll talk about those pages. Choose your images. You're a photographer, so make sure your stuff looks fabulous on your website, but also don't overdo it. I think a lot of people think they have to put everything they've ever shot on their website, and that's not necessary. Make sure you're showing off your best and most current work. Put some great text. That's the other thing. Some people don't know how to write, so I know they get a little nervous about that, but making sure you have words there. It's great for Google search. It's great for just having something for people to understand about you. Let them understand who you are. Let them know where you're at. We'll talk about a little bit about that context when we get further on. And give people something to do. If you want them to buy, make sure you have buttons that they can click and purchase from you. If you want them to book, make sure you have your scheduler set up. Or make sure you just have your contact form set up. Make sure that people don't have dead ends and that they can always get in touch with you to either purchase or just contact. And just don't overthink it. You can always change stuff. That's the great thing about web. You can always modify it. It's not permanent, so you can just change something if you don't like it. So step 1, let's choose a template. One of the key features that you want to do when you're looking for a template is make sure it's fast loading. Fast loading websites perform better on Google. They also perform better for your clients. They say most people will leave a website if it doesn't load within 3 to 3.2 seconds. they can already see this data that people get scared and they think something might be wrong with the website, so they just back out and they go somewhere else. That's an opportunity for you to lose a sale if your website is slow. So make sure your website template, whatever you're using, is fast. The benefit of PhotoBiz is we actually built our system to perform faster than all these other ones. So we're twice as fast as Wix, and we're 5 times faster than Squarespace templates. So when you load up your website, it's almost instantaneous. And the other key features is the more that people visit your website, the faster it becomes. So it's really cool. The other thing is mobile response. For Google, mobile responsive websites are huge. They're a huge deal right now. They don't like your website if it doesn't perform well on Google. They'll actually kind of hold you back from getting to that page one that everyone wants to get to. If your page is slow and it's not mobile responsive, they're already gonna say, I don't know about this website. And you also want to make sure your user experience is good. Do you like going to a website where you have to like pinch and zoom in to look at stuff, or would you rather it just automatically work? One of the key features again with PhotoBiz is it automatically works. I call it magically mobile. You design it once on desktop, and then it resizes automatically for your phone and tablet. It's great because some of these other platforms, you have to design it twice. You modify it for phone, you modify it for desktop. It's nice to be able to just design it once and move on. You don't really have time to focus on that stuff, so let us do that part. You need something that's easy to build on. There's no need for you to sit around, wait, and code everything. You don't need custom code to get by. One of the cool things about PhotoBiz is it's all drag and drop. Most builders today, you can do that with most systems. But what ours is really nice is we actually build it into a sandbox system with constraints around it. So if you're not a designer, maybe websites aren't your thing, it's designed with a designer's eye already put in. There's basically, you can't make it look ugly, which some of these other builders, they kind of have more of a Photoshop feel to it, but when you look at it on mobile or something, now the logo's either not even on the page or it's hanging over top of some text or something like that. We've built constraints into the system to make it beautiful automatically with a designer's eye built in. Beautiful. Our templates are made to look beautiful, so make sure you have beautiful templates that are easy on the eyes. You don't want to make it distracting or hard for people to read. You want to make sure you don't have a background image that's making it difficult for you to concentrate on your images in the foreground. Whatever you do, make sure when you have a website that your images are telling the story and the design is just part of that. It's not overtaking the actual images. And reliable. One of the things you want to have is secure servers. You want to make sure your hosting is secure. You want to make sure that you can make changes when you need to, or you can call on someone. Again, those are the types of features that PhotoBiz has. You're not going to find that with a lot of other builders, or it's a premium that you have to pay for. Okay, let's move on. So how do you choose your template? So when you're going through templates, wherever you're getting it from, look at how the logo and menu is placed. Typically, if you see a logo in the center and there's text on the side, or is it down below? Is it on the left hanging and the menu hanging on the right side? You have different options. Those are the things. That's what you want to focus on when you're picking a template, is how is the logo and menus placed? Because everything else you can change. But when you start out, this is the one key feature that people are going to notice the most. You want to make sure that if you want them to be able to navigate through your menu, that you have the menu as present as possible. If you have it at the bottom, they might miss it. But if they have it hanging on the side, it might not be distracting because you want them to focus on your huge images. But just make sure that the navigation is clear on your website and your logo place is where you want it to be. Simple layouts are best. A lot of people think they have to overthink it or put a lot of animations and stuff like that. Animations actually bog down on your system. They actually make your website load slower, and they can also make, especially if someone has a slow phone or slow computer internet already, it's going to perform even slower. So why even waste time with animations? Get to the point. Let them read your context. Let them see your images. Make sure everything is clean and beautiful. It's so easy to make a white backdrop with black text look gorgeous. We're so used to seeing that written anyway on the internet through blogs, through news columns and stuff like that. Just make it engaging. Make sure the content's engaging. Make sure your images are engaging, but don't overcomplicate your layouts and make it distracting. think like your clients. What do they want to do? When you get to the website, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to get there and be like, okay, what's next? So they watch this video. Okay, what do you want me to do? Make sure you have buttons and call to actions where you can tell them where you want them to go. Make sure that they're going exactly where you need them. There's no reason to just throw people to pages. Don't give them dead ends. Make sure there's always an ability to either A, go to a shop, or B, go to a contact form. No matter what, you want to be able to make sure that people can always get in touch with you. And your clients, if they're confused, that's the worst part. So make sure it's easy for you, because it'll be easy for them. Get inspiration from people you love. I mean, there's tons of websites out there. I see beautiful websites all the time. I'm like, how'd they do that? That's what you need to do. If you want to see, if you see something and you're inspired by it, think about, hey, how can I do that myself? The really great thing is our platform, you can put custom code if you need to. And most of the stuff you can do already with the blocks. Just kind of see around the world what's out there. If there's something that inspires you, it inspires our designers too. So we're always loving to hear customer feedback, because that's great. Because, hey, if there's something really popping out there, it gives us a chance to be like, hey, maybe we can replicate something like this to make it even more awesome, and already built into our platform versus having to do everything customized. But yeah, just see what all your friends, even like people that you're dedicating your time to, like, wow, this person's got a beautiful website. Hey, if they got a great website, it doesn't hurt to try to make something similar. Don't blatantly copy it, but you can be inspired by it. And just don't overthink it. That's the big thing. When you're building a website, you drop right into your builder. You pick a template, you go right in, you can start building. But you can always change the templates down the line. You can always modify the colors. You can always modify the fonts. You can always change the pages, hide the pages, delete the pages. You name it. You can always change it. That's the great thing about web design. It's very, very versatile and completely easy to change. Step 2, you want to plan your pages. So what's the number one goal with a website? What do you want it to be? Your true goal is to get customers and make money. That's what everyone's goal should be. You want to find new clients, you want them to pay for your services. You want to find new clients, you want them to book time with you. You want to find clients, you want to sell them a package, mini sessions, you name it. At the end of the day, we're all in this to make money. And that's the important part, is make sure it's easy. So ask yourselves, what does my customer need to see to buy or get in touch with me? If you're restaurants, you get customers, you want to make money. Photographers, create sessions, sell products to make money. Public speaker, book events, make money. Yoga studios, fill your classes up, make money. Make sure you have pages that can sell to these people. If you are booking with them, make sure you have a page that can book. If you have an online store and you're selling products through it, make sure they understand where they can go. Make sure it's on the homepage, or pieces of it's on the homepage that'll lead to a bigger page that they can explore. Give people something to do when they get to the website. Otherwise, they could leave. So let's start with some 3 basic pages. The most important pages on your website is your home, about page, and contact page. Most websites, you can do everything with 3 to 5 pages. We try to tell people on their menus, try to keep it limited to 7 items up there. Otherwise, drop-down menus and things like that get way too hard for people to explore. If you can sum up everything you do in your business in about 3 to 5 pages, or 7, the better. We say 7 because some people have extra galleries and stuff like that. So when you're starting on your homepage, make sure that it is clearly visible what you do, where you are at, the who, what, when, and where of everything. People need to know who you are, where you're from, where you're shooting at, and your why is kind of nice sometimes. You can put that on there. People like to understand why you're a photographer, how long you've been doing it. Give people those pieces about you to not only show your expertise and professionalism, just let them know. People like stories. That's the one thing that go to websites. People say people don't read. Yes, people don't read as much as you think, but when they read, they want to read something captivating. And that's what you need to focus on. Make sure what you're putting out there is interesting. You got to make sure your story is beautiful. And you can explore more of that on the About page. The About page, I know a lot of people, especially photographers, don't like talking about themselves, or at least showing photos of themselves. Photos of yourself is great because think of this as a blind date. If you've never talked to this person ever, this person stumbles across your website. They're getting to know you through your website. They're getting all their questions answered, like how long you've been working there, what do you even look like, so they're not, thrown off when they get to your studio and they don't recognize who you are. Let them already see who you are when they get there. It makes a huge difference. If they can already recognize you, they already start putting like a face with the voice on the website, and they already start creating their own stories around the stories that you've already given them. So focus on that when you get there. Make sure the about page is clear. You can make this as long as you want. People love hearing your why. This is the part where you can tell people your why and how long you've been doing it, and you can really explore yourself and showcase that to everyone. Your contact page. This is huge. You gotta have a contact page. If you don't have a way for people to contact you, then what's the point of the website? Because people are gonna ask you questions. They might ask you a question that, like how much are your services? If it's not on the website, or maybe they didn't see it, they're gonna want to be able to get in touch with you about booking. They're gonna want to get in touch with you about anything at all, like experience, where you're located at, everything. If anything, if people don't get all that on the about pages or your homepage, the contact page gives them a funnel to them ask all those questions if they've missed any details. You'll be surprised how many people don't actually know something when they're looking at something. They'll look at it and they'll be like, well, I don't know what this means, and then they'll contact you. Or you'll put a price right on the page and say it's like $250. They still want to understand like how much the product costs. Sometimes they think things are too good to be true, or there's some hidden fees or something like that. Having a contact page is great because you can filter out all those questions, and you can also filter out, the not right customer for you. I mean, if you don't have the right customer coming to your website, you can already tell them, hey, this is how much my costs are and stuff like that, so you're not wasting each other's time. And one page is better than none. Some people get stuck on building a website and not knowing what to talk about or anything like that. At least start on your homepage. Get that design. I tell people to put a contact on every page, so at least there's a way for people to contact you. Because if they don't make it down the menu, at least they might make it all the way down the first page and see that there's a functionality to contact you. Never leave people with the inability to contact you at all. I always think it's important to have on each page. So if you can put some type of contact form somewhere, do it. So you can start with a one page, have that information out there, and that contact right away. Picking your pictures. You're a photographer. I hope you got good photos. People shop with their eyes, first of all. I mean, they say our brains process 60,000 times faster than reading text. That's one reason why people think no one reads. We, as people, are so visual. We like to look at good food. We like to watch appealing things on television. People understand aesthetics if they don't even know what aesthetics means. So everyone's looking for something that looks beautiful, and that's where your work really can stand out. So, being a photographer, I hope you already have great photos in your portfolio. So on your homepage and other pages built in with it, we say use 5 to 10 to represent your core look. So if you are a photographer and you've been shooting for 10, 15 plus years, don't showcase stuff that you shot 5 or 10 years ago. Tastes change, looks change, styles change, everything changes. And you might even think this photo is beautiful, and sometimes it is, but something can look dated without you even recognizing it. People pick up on just how wardrobe looks. I mean, a style that was very cool in 2000 and 2001 isn't cool in 2020. So when you're looking through your photos, make sure it's beautiful and current. I think, for the last 3 years, that's always the best thing. And change your photos often. If you get better photos, change them. Bigger to better, obviously. We want to see those full details. People love it. You don't want to give something pixelated online, so make sure you have the sharpest, most beautiful photos, especially for banners. They look great because you can do full page displays, and they're wonderful looking. For galleries, I know some of you guys like to go overboard and put everything in a gallery. You don't have to do that. If you can tell your story of how good you are in 25 images, or and I'll say even up to 50, if you can tell that story, I think that's perfect. Because do you want people scrolling through every single photo you shot? And you have to know what your favorite photos are anyway. So if you have multiple galleries, that's okay. You can break it out. So maybe you have newborn, weddings, senior portraits. Break out those galleries into 3 different ones. Put 25 in each of those. 25 to 50. That's all you need. And always make sure it's the most current stuff. Always update it, modify it, make it more beautiful, see what's working. Make sure that you're able to get the clients that you're looking for now, not the ones that you had. And it should definitely just show off your best work, so change it often. So something I've seen a lot lately is some people will shoot like products for their stores and stuff like that with their iPhones and then throw it on their website. Please make sure you're shooting your best work and putting it on the website. Like this still right here, one on the left obviously was shot with an iPhone and thrown on someone's website, and then they reshot it again not too long ago with their actual still camera. Make sure you're using the best high quality work you got, because if you're selling like an album and it's looking all dark and shady, or it looks like pixelated, that's not going to be as appetizing to sell, and they won't know it, but something in them might say, I don't like this. And they'll be like, this looks cheap, this looks old, something's wrong with this. People can recognize those things faster than you think, and as photographers, you'll notice that faster too. So please, make sure you're showing your best work, not Instagram shots or anything like that, as your main photographs. If you have Instagram shots from clients, those are great for blogs. Those are great for social media posts, and being able to showcase that stuff. Use it that way, but don't use them as product shots, and don't use them as live shots for your galleries. Words. Those are very, very important. More important than you think. You need words for SEO and for humans, obviously. So for SEO, Google is kind of what I say, like a blind robot. It's reading Braille constantly, so it can't really see your images, but it can read text. So make sure that your words are elegant enough, clear enough, and also don't do anything that sounds robotic. And I'll go into that a little bit later when we talk about SEO. If you're not very good at writing, you can always ask someone or hire a professional. That's great because, if you have a friend, they're going to obviously try to make sure that you sound good. They don't want to make you, look bad. But if you can always hire a professional writer, go for it. I think a professional writer can say things about yourself that you didn't think you were possible about to say about yourself, So make sure that you get someone that knows how to write or tell your story clearly. Make it simple and clear. Again, you don't have to write paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. Make sure it's just, 2 paragraphs a page. 200 words can go a long way. And a lot of people think 200 words, wow, that's a lot. No, I'll show you what 200 words looks like in a second. Make it skimmable. Again, we're very visual. So if people don't read, and we think people don't read, make sure it's readable for just small chunks. So don't make it like a wall of text. Make sure the headlines are important. So grab people's attention that way. Make it look not like a lot of words, but then fill up your pages with enough words so it feels right. And always spell check. Use tools like Grammarly or Hemingway or anything else you got. Use those tools as often as you can to spell check your stuff. So this is what 200 words looks like. You notice on the right side they did more of a wall of text, but it still looks readable because they broke it up enough. And they had buttons and a headline, so it grabs your attention with those photos. The one on the left, they broke it up a different way. So they have more objective-based ones. So they're telling you about their salon on one side, their apothecary on the next one, and their services. And see how they're all broken up? That's those 200 words right there. With that old-fashioned luxury, a headline, some text there, and then those 3 text boxes. That's it. That's all they had to do, and it doesn't look overwhelming. It's clear, and all of them are in their own boxes, so you know what they're only talking about this. With the other side, it's clear and easy. It's just a paragraph or 2, and it's just letting you see everything that they do and why they do their mission. So don't get stuck on what 200 words sounds like, because at the end of the day, you can make it look less daunting on yourself. So number 5, selling and getting your customers. So it's goal time. You want to make sure people are able to buy your stuff, contact you, and book you for your services. You just want to get paid at the end of the day. So hook up your website. Make sure you have that contact form like I was saying, so people can get in touch with you anywhere. I say put them at the bottom of every page at least, so you can at least get people to contact you if they don't make it through all your other pages. No matter what, you want people to be able to book with you. Set up a store to sell your products. That's the great thing. If you sell prints or packages, bulk downloads, anything like that, you can set that up through your store. Maybe you have all that built out already in. You can go ahead and have them where they can purchase that stuff directly without having to already book with you. That's really nice. So you can go ahead and have them like, hey, do their stuff before they even talk to you. Create order forms. Another great thing is creating like registration forms, order forms, especially if you have some type of booking. Maybe you're doing mini sessions. Let them go ahead and book time with you. The cool thing about our forms is you can go ahead and take a payment. You just set it up with whatever merchant you got, and then you just put in how much that's going to be. You put in all the time slots available, and then people can book it. You just send it out there to your emails. You can send it out through your social media, and then they can just go right into that form, start putting in that information, and they're good to go. And let clients schedule time with you. With our scheduler, you can have people book you those days. You can have people book you certain times, especially if you don't want people to be able to book you on certain days. You can also build it that way as well. Maybe some days you only want to do in-person sales, and then other days you actually want to do your shooting. You can design the scheduler to work that way, and that's going to be really awesome for you to already have people be able to book time, and they can go ahead and pay you for that through that system as well. So our e-commerce, we'll talk about that a little bit. We don't take out any of your fees, so whatever you make is what you make. The only fee you have to pay is your merchant. You can set up your products, start selling right away. That's the really cool thing about it. So if you do sell products, or maybe you sell education, you can sell this all through your website. You can sell your educational tools. Maybe you have resources like presets, brushes, you name it. You can set that all up through your website. Just add it to your store and you're good to go. Use call to actions. When you're building banners and stuff like that, give people something to do. Don't be afraid to ask them what you want them to do. If you want someone to contact you, make sure it says contact you. Don't make it very vague. Making vague statements makes it hard for people to understand what exactly you want. Like come on in. What does that mean? No, say contact us. Make sure you're giving them something to do. You don't want to have those dead ends. So give them those funnels and let them go down there. Hi, Denise. So yeah, call to actions are perfect because they keep those funnels going. As soon as someone gets to that website, if they don't have a functionality to do besides contact you, they might leave. But at least you're giving them the option to contact them. So make sure you're leading them that way. So if it says contact us or view my gallery, give those options to people. Tell them exactly what you want. Don't be afraid. If you want them to view your gallery, make sure you say it right on those images. Put it in every section that you need it to. Don't go overboard with all these buttons, but make sure you have them there for them to do something else. And that's kind of the core of building a website. It's really easy to get started doing that. Then you can share it all over the world. That's the really cool thing about websites. So next part, we're going to talk about a little bit with SEO. So if you're not very familiar with SEO, this will be really good for you. If you know a lot about SEO, this might help you a little bit if you haven't gone into it much. So to make it work easily, first step I'm going to tell you to do is get a Google My Business page. That is one of the key things to make your website visible. And I know everyone's fighting to get on page 1, but this can actually help you be found on Google faster, especially locally. A lot of people think they got to show up number 1 for their city. Well, guess what? If you have a Google My Business page, you get a pin mark already on your page, and if someone's within a certain radius, they'll be able to see you, and you might come up first anyway. So it's really awesome. So you want to set that up. Make your pages searchable. Make sure you have your metadata, your descriptions. Make sure all that stuff's clear and it doesn't sound robotic. We'll go through what that means as well. Get reviews. Get people to send you reviews. There's options to do that. You can build it into your website so people just click one thing and it sends them right over to Google or Facebook, whatever you prefer. But make sure you're able to get reviews because that's going to help you in your rankings, and Google's going to start to be like, hey, maybe this website's worth something. And blogging is huge. People don't understand the value of blogging, and they don't feel comfortable with blogging. But again, like we were talking about earlier, with writing 2 to 3 paragraphs and then some images and then a call to action. Those are all the pieces that you need to make it a functional blog post. And then you can share that to your social media and then have people come over to your website besides sitting on Facebook. You want to make sure that you're leading people to your website to do something versus putting everything on Facebook, because then they're just stuck in Facebook and then they can go elsewhere. So let's go through some of that. So Google My Business page. There's a link up there. Sign up. It's free. Get your page set up. Put in all your information. Make sure you got it. This is one of the most valuable things that you can add. But you see how that has a little pin drop underneath? So when someone is looking up, we'll just say Greensboro photographer. Someone might be ranking for that already, but it's going to show me all the Greensboro photographers in that area thanks to just having a Google My Business page set up. So within my radius, I'm going to be able to see all the photographers photographers in Greensboro area, and the closest one to me is actually going to probably show up first. So think about that. Someone down the street from you might Google for photographer, and you're going to show up first because your business is closer to their residence versus the best one or the one that's ranking the highest currently. So set that up. That is a wonderful thing that you have for free to use. Make your pages searchable. Again, on the back end of PhotoBiz, you can put in all your metadata and descriptions. Make sure that it's been optimized to 55 to 60 characters for a page title. So if you're a photographer, make sure it's saying all that information like Jenny Jones wedding photography in the greater Los Angeles area. That's all you need. It's clear, concise. We know what Jenny Jones' name is. We know she's a wedding photographer. We know where she's located at. For meta descriptions, this is where some people go overboard, maybe put too much, but you only need 50 to 155 characters. Don't go crazy. Here's an example of what that looks like. Jenny Jones is a PPA certified photographer who has specialized in wedding and engagement photography for over 5 years, serving the greater Los Angeles area. So it expanded on that page title. So what else did we learn about her? We know that she's PPA certified now, and she specializes not just only in weddings, but engagement as well, and she's been working for 5 years. Those are those little extra nuggets that was placed in that metadata, and that's all we needed. For the meta keywords, this is where you can add more, but we tell people use about 15 keyword phrases per page to avoid penalization through search engines. If you put too much in, Google will actually, I guess you could say, dock you points. We'll go into a little bit more how Google actually looks at things in a second, because Google is learning constantly and changing constantly. So for metadatas or meta keywords for this example would be Jenny Jones wedding photography, comma, Los Angeles wedding photography, comma, Los Angeles wedding portraits, comma, and then kind of so on until you get about 15 phrases. That way we know she would probably put Los Angeles engagement photography, and so on. Make sure you have enough, but not too much. You don't want Google to actually penalize you. Get reviews. Add review buttons to all your pages if you can. You can put them as a site link up in the top, at the bottom of your footer, but always give somebody the ability to send you a review. And don't be afraid to ask for reviews, especially if you've already been doing this for a while and you've never gotten reviews before. Go back to past clients that you've had great experiences with. Send them a link through their email or social media saying, hey, I hope you really valued our experience of shooting together. I would love if you could send me like a Google review, and just send them a link directly to it, and then they can just punch it in. Don't be afraid to ask for a review, especially if you've had great clients. And going forward, whenever you have a session that's done and the experience has been great, send it to a client right away. Like, hey, I'm really glad that you had a great experience. Would you mind giving me a Google review? It helps me grow as a business. That's all you really need to say. And people that had been satisfied, they'll do it. But you have to do it sooner than later, because people will forget, and more inclined to, you will get more bad reviews from people, because when people have a bad experience, they rather talk about bad experiences versus good experiences. So when you got someone there and you're already talking to them, make sure you just say, hey, would you mind giving me a review? I would really appreciate it. It goes a long way. Also, if you do get bad reviews, respond to them. We're only seeing one side. Everyone in the world who goes to your review page, if they see a bad customer review, they're only getting one side. They're seeing that customer's side of things. This is an opportunity for you to open up as a discussion, explain what happened, and people are able to read that experience. Maybe it was a one-off bad experience. Maybe that person wasn't feeling great that day. Maybe you weren't feeling great that day and you just weren't shooting at your best. Or, something happened. Maybe the camera died during the wedding session. Who knows? Bad things happen randomly all the time. But we need to be able to know that experience. Otherwise, people are just going to see a one-star review and a heated discussion from a one-sided. So make sure you're always there to tell your story so people understand. Blogging. So this is where we're going to talk about how Google reads. Again, I told you earlier, Google's kind of like a blind robot reading Braille. So it's just reading the words on the page. It wants to feel what those words feel like. It likes when people write like humans versus a robot. Writing like a robot you'd probably be penalized. So what's that sound like? You've probably heard it before. Going to a website is like, hi, my name is Jenny Jones Photography. I live in the Los Angeles area and I do photography. I love photography because photography is one of the things I've done my entire life. I've been shooting in the Los Angeles area doing photography for weddings for blah, 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 blah. It just sounds like the same thing being repeated over and over again. And that's kind of them trying to stuff in words. And keyword stuffing is now hugely penalized by Google. And the more unelegant it sounds and more robotic it sounds, Google doesn't want to read that anymore. It wants to read real language. It wants to read how you read. And it wants to read how you speak. Because it's an artificial intelligence, so it's getting smarter. And it wants to be smarter. And becoming more human is the way to do that for it. And it treats more content like that with praise versus negligence like now if you were writing like a robot. So don't keyword stuff. Don't throw in stuff that people don't like. Just make sure it's clear, concise, tells a story, and it sounds human. So when you're writing your blog, always show off your new content. It's a great way to show it. Again, 2 to 3 paragraphs and then like 10 images. Give people a taste of your work. Give them an experience. So describe yourself. Maybe you did a shoot and you want to show 10 images from that shoot. This is where you have an opportunity to talk about that shoot. You can talk about the day and how beautiful it was outside when you were shooting on the beach and the ocean was just so calm that day and the sun was giving you the perfect golden hour. You could talk about the experience with the clients and how they were so excited and maybe something funny happened while they were shooting, like a wave came up and hit the groom or something like that, and he got completely doused in water, and you still got photos of that and of them laughing and hugging and stuff like that. That's where you can really go into details that are fun, that explore your work and the experiences. Again, 2 to 3 paragraphs, show the photos, put some call to actions. You can put one at the top. You can put one at the bottom of the images. If they don't scroll all the way to the bottom, at least they have the one at the top saying book now. So people are going to get those experiences. Now what you do with that blog after that is that's when you share it to social media. Take that blog, share it directly to your Facebook page or Twitter pages or any of your social media links. Because what that's going to do is people are going to see that post and then they're going to click on it and they're going to go to your website. And where do they have to go after that? They have your website. They can explore your website now. They can see all your other content. They can see all your other pages. They can get in contact with you. They can purchase from you. They have the ability to stay there with you versus being on Facebook. They might see your post and go like, that's cool. And then they move on to the next post. Don't allow people to walk away. Don't allow people to have a dead end. Don't let them just stay on social media. Drive them to your website so they can learn more about you and hopefully book with you. That's what the goal is, to make them book with you. So give them that experience. And when you're getting them to the blog, then you have call to actions. Call to actions can lead to booking to you. Call to actions can explore other galleries. Maybe you have a more in-depth gallery for that post. Give them the ability to stay on your website, because then they might actually choose to book with you. And write often. Once or twice a month is good. That's going to help with search. The more intelligent your stuff sounds, the more often you do it, and more engaged your pages are from social media, Google's going to start saying, hey, I think this business is worth showing off to people. So it'll just slowly push you up the page ranks, because it thinks your content is valuable. The longer people stay on it, the more people that come to it, and the more intelligent it is. Those are the key things you need to focus on when you're building with your blog. So summary, Google loves words. Text on every page. Use your keywords. Write like a human. Write for humans. Write for just sound human. Try your blogging out. Use call to actions, buttons. Don't leave any dead ends. Always give something to do. And put in your metadata and descriptions. So, difference between us and other platforms. I'll talk about that a little bit. PhotoBiz is really great because it's all in one. When you get us, you get the website builder, the e-commerce, the proofing, the scheduler, the form builder, and marketing tools where you can send email marketing up to 2,000 people a month. And it has a back-end CRM too, so you can collect all those contacts there. It's really robust, all in one, and it costs as much as these guys who don't have all those functions. So let's talk about WordPress a little bit. It's time-consuming. It's difficult to update, relies on plugins, so you're having to source it through other people that build these tools. And I tell people, hey, what if one day that person is no longer developing that tool, or God forbid something happens to them and they're gone? That plugin no longer works, or doesn't function with any updates that WordPress has. That's just something that can happen with WordPress. I've had many websites I worked on in the past when I was a website builder for WordPress. Someone's website would go down and they didn't know what happened. We'd update the WordPress function and that template no longer worked. And they had to start over from scratch because that template wasn't supported on the new platform. So try to get something that can update in the background and doesn't require tons of plugins. Wix is also a sandbox builder. And if you're not a designer, it really shows. Again, it's more Photoshop designy. So if you put a logo up in the corner, it might not look great on mobile, or you can tell when things are spatially different. Again, people kind of recognize when something is aesthetically wrong. And sometimes with many of the Wix websites I've seen, if it's not designed by an agency or something like that, you can really, really tell when someone's did it themselves. Their whole slogan is, you can do it, you can build a website on your own. You can, but is it going to be great? That's why our system has parameters built around the sandbox to keep it from looking ugly, from making it aesthetically beautiful on mobile without having to build it twice. And another penalty against Wix is if you don't like what you're building, you want to start it from scratch, you have to start over literally from scratch. You basically have to start from zero, you get a new web page with no content in it. If you want to change a template with us or design, it's just one click, and then you just modify a few things here and there. With them, you start over each time. Squarespace. They became kind of the cool guys, but the thing is, they have terrible page speeds. They have paywalled their features now. If you have to be paying higher tiers to unlock these things, even for custom code now, you have to pay higher to actually inject CSS, JavaScript, and HTML code. They're just trying to paywall things more since they're growing. Also, it's not really built for photographers, and they've been changing their system too to be more like Wix. And again, with that new change with their new builder, you want to change the template, you got to start from zero each time. In fact, it's even more convoluted. You actually have to cancel your account and then start a new account. It's kind of wild. I don't know why they did it that way. But yeah, their system, it doesn't look great on mobile. It's very slow. Some people's page speed scores were getting like 19s and 9s and stuff like that. So check that out. If you have a Squarespace site, check out what your speeds are. Make sure your website loads fast. That's the most important thing for search. So make sure that, and make sure that you still have those features. If you were paying a certain point, they're now paywalling features. So make sure that your features are still displaying. Weebly. I think they're having an identity crisis personally. They got bought by Square a year ago, and now there is Weebly sites and Square sites. What's the difference? I don't know. They can't really tell you. I don't know what they're doing. But the biggest thing was their websites were built for tablets first, and you can kind of tell they wanted their whole system to be drag and drop with your finger, and then you develop the website on a tablet versus a desktop. And I think designing for the desktop first is important. I think in the last couple years, WordPress designs and Weebly designs have been focusing on mobile, and mobile experiences can look cool, but then all of a sudden you get to the desktop and the desktop experience looks like an amateur. It's very amateurish. It looks very spatially weird, off. Something's always off about it, and you can kind of tell something's wrong with the aesthetic. I haven't personally seen a Weebly website that I was like, wow. And I don't know if anyone else does. And there's some other platforms out there, same issues you'll run into. Maybe they have one thing, maybe they don't have this. Maybe their website builder is dated. You have tons and tons of things you can do. PhotoBiz tries to stay up to date. We have in-house builders and designers, R&D, and developers constantly updating our system to give you better tools and resources for one price. So, a little bit more about PhotoBiz. It's all in one system. You get forms, a website, secure hosting, a store, blog, CRM, marketing, and proofing. You get unlimited support, 0 commissions on those stores. It's just paying your merchant fee. Design services when you need them. So if you want to hire a professional, we actually have those professionals already in-house. So you don't have to go looking elsewhere and paying extra. And then we're very affordable. $29 a month or $300 a year, that's incredible. And for all these types of tools. And we have some of the fastest website speeds on earth. Again, we're twice as fast as Wix and 5 times faster than WordPress and Weebly and Squarespace sites. And that's going to wrap it up. If you have any questions, I'm going to have a blog that's actually talking about that. And I will go through some questions now that's on our chat. Hi, Bill. You're asking about Zenfolio. What are you asking about for Zenfolio? Just in their page speed or functionality? What are you looking at? While I wait for Bill to respond, I'll talk about it, Denise. So landing pages are really, really awesome. They're built into your email marketing tool. So when you're building an email marketing campaign to go out, it actually acts as a landing page. So you just need to copy that link and then you can share it anywhere you want to. What's really awesome about it, I use them for social media. So you'll commonly see it on our Instagram. It'll go to like our blog.photobiz.com/marketing/what's happening at PhotoBiz. And that page is really cool because it's more branded, it's more visual. You'll see some people use link trees and they're paying for like just 5 links that just say, hey, come here, come do that. If you look at some of these photographers out there like Stephanie DeFranco and stuff like that, they really use their landing pages for experiences. So people are able to see those experiences right away and they're able to kind of get like a palette of just who she is. And then you scroll down, then she has a link to an article through the news paper that she was just had an interview with, and then just some other things, recent galleries and recent sessions. So you can really utilize your landing pages to kind of be anything you want them to be. You can make it about promotions that you have. Maybe you're having a sale, or maybe you're doing like a gift towards something. You can have people come to your landing pages. You can pin them at the top of your Facebook page, or you can put them on your Instagram pages, whatever social media outlets that you have, and people can utilize those. You can also use those landing pages as temporary pages, like maybe you don't want to build an entire page for it, for your promotion, but you can have a sticky banner at the top or a pop-up come up and people can click that and it'll drop them into that landing page. That landing page experience is kind of unique to itself because you can kind of do whatever you want on there and it doesn't look exactly like your website. So you can either heavily brand it to look like your website or something totally unique. Yeah, you can make a landing page. Basically, it will go to your .com and be like your .com/marketing, your landing page title. So whatever you want it to be, like maybe you can make it coming soon. You can leave that and people will come to it, but if you want to put up a temporary page, you're also able to do that. You can just hide your pages that you're currently working on and just put your home page to be a coming soon page or whatever you want it to be if you want people to be able to book with you. So you can put that temporary page and then have a call to action that can link over to that landing page to get them to do whatever you want. So Bill, I'm coming back to your question. Yes, I know they have a website builder and they have an e-commerce as well. One of the big things that I know with them is their whole e-commerce is set up through another third-party system. So whoever owns Zenfolio, or if they're the sole proprietor at this point, I can't remember. But I do know that they take commissions on all their sales. So, and I think it's up to 19%. So every time you make a sale, you're almost losing 20%, and then you're playing, that's with a merchant fee and their own personal fees. And if you have any commission fees for any person that's getting printed at, that's the biggest difference. They might have fulfillment built in where we give people the option to do their own fulfilling, so they have more quality checks on their own stuff and quality assurance, and then they can send it directly to their customers. And if you already have a merchant, all you have to do, or a person that's fulfilling your prints, when someone fills out through us, you just take that print order and then you can send it off to your lab. That's the one step that most people don't realize it's that easy. It's just printing something and send it off. You can just email that directly to your print shop and you're good to go. And you're going to save about 20% commissions through us versus them. So that's one of the things with them. It's like 12% plus merchant fees and then something else. So they can take a huge chunk out of your sales. As far as their website builder, their templates are pretty, I would say in 2010 they were cool, I guess, but I don't think they've really evolved a lot, or I haven't seen a lot of Zenfolio sites that are more websites. They're just galleries. When it comes to a website, I'm more interested in actually learning about the person, learning about the photographer, and I don't think they give that type of experience on the websites I've seen built through Zenfolio. It's mostly for just people to put their galleries up, from what I've seen. Thanks, Bill. I hope it was helpful today. If you have any other questions, please let me know. You leave them there. Getting leads, yeah. Leads are very difficult for some people. If you have your website, leave it in the comments. I'll take a look at it, and I'll send you some comments, okay? Yeah, for banners, I try to keep it very limited, especially for big banners. I like, personally myself, up to 5, but you're free to do 10 if you like. I think, again, less is more. So, choose your 5 best. And if you need a little bit more to explore that, you can do that. The cool thing about the banners, you can have them have different call to actions for each one, or have them all do one. So maybe you have it saying, like, for your first one, like, welcome to Denise Tunnel's photography, and then subline, check out my recent, whatever photography you do. We'll just say seniors. Check out my recent senior photography gallery, and then a button that says view gallery. And then the next one will change over. Maybe this one's more promotional based. Maybe you're saying getting ready to fall shoots or fall sessions. Book now. Click here to get an experience. And then next one is the book now button. And then that photo can be more fall related if you have fall like content, and you can keep them rotating as much as you want, but I say 5 for that. But if you need more, you can. But it's really cool because you can make those call to actions unique and go to different places. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. Again, my name is Jeremy Heiler. I'm the creative director at PhotoBiz. Again, if you aren't familiar with PhotoBiz, please check us out at photobiz.com. We're actually having some specials going on right now during the COVID situation. We've reduced our annual plans for new customers for $150 a year, and then next year it'll be $300. But the first year it'll be half off, and then also our services are also currently half off. So if you want to get a custom website design, you're going to be saving $750. So if you really want to focus on that stuff, it's really perfect time to actually work on your website from home and start thinking about the next 6 months versus just sitting here waiting for the phone to ring. Go ahead and be proactive. Get your campaigns ready. Get your email marketing campaigns done. Have everything ready for once everything bounced back. It's been my pleasure, Denise. Thank you guys for coming today, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.